on. He's flown India's most advanced fighter jets and now he's preparing to conquer space. Meet P.B Nair, the man at the forefront of India's Gaganyaan mission. In a big Times Now exclusive, the IAF ace shares his journey from Top Gun to Rocket Man.
Now tell me, you were in the comfort zone as an ace Sukhoi 30 MKI pilot. What made you move out of your comfort zone to be the great space hero that you're going to be?
I would say if this is what it means to be outside a comfort zone, I wish this on everybody. Because from a fighter pilot, even if you see physically, what you want to go is go higher and higher. And the only thing which I see higher above than that is space. And also aspirationally for all of us in this great land tells you, right? You're supposed to ultimately go from your Mooladhara to Sahasrara. And remember, Sahasrara represents space and Mooladhara the earth. So I'm just following the traditions of this great land of mine, Srinjoy, and saying, let me take the next leap. And I was always a sucker for the ultimate roller coaster ride. So the ultimate roller coaster ride, here I come.
But the most important thing is none of us will ever feel it. What is it like, the first moment to be weightless?
Actually, it's like an Ozempic killer. Many people want to lose weight and all that. I would say just to be floating. It is a pure, pristine feeling of being one with nature. You forget everything. Because we have taken many things for granted on this earth. Remember, to go to the toilet in microgravity is a big headache, right? And it requires a lot of learning. But we don't think twice before going to a bathroom on ground. So it's something like we should not take the things for granted which we have been given free by Mother Nature. And one thing which is given free by Mother Nature is 1G. So while floating and enjoying that moment, straight away you have an immense sense of gratitude to this great spaceship called Earth, hurling at 31 kilometers per second around the sun and saying, thank God for 1G and allowing us to prosper in this great land.
Gaganyaan, it's coming up. You're going to be the third Indian citizen in space. Now, you have been thinking about it, and you're a thinking person. How do you see it panning out? Because, as you said, you aspire, you dream of things. So how do you see your first mission? What is it going to be like?
Thank you. Great question. I think this is something which is going to be followed not just by our entire country, but by all the world, and especially those other countries who cannot send their own human beings to space. Because I know their entire eyes will be saying that this has to be a success. Because whenever India does something, we make sure the rest of the world also benefits. Think about the COVID vaccine. Many countries could not do it at that time, and all the other countries who did it did not give it to anybody else. But we gave it to others even before we got it. So similarly, when we are going to space, they know that we are going to go there to occupy it, to make sure it is equitably distributed. So what I say is that when we are going to go to space using our own spacecraft and our own capsule, it means the rest of the world who cannot send their human beings to space are saying, thank God India is going to go there now. The Gaganyaan moment has taken place so that India is going to hold forth for the rest of us. And at the same time, we as Indians are going to benefit immensely. That's what I feel.
I'm going to ask you a tough question. Now, you're still very young. John Glenn went to space when he was a senior citizen. Now, it's entirely possible that after your first stint in space, you could do further things. You could be India's first man on the moon. Just the idea, what does it feel like? If you are going to be on the moon, would it be a first step for India?
Great question. And I think this great civilization has always had that ethos of thinking from the point of view of looking at Earth from a CCTV, which is beyond even the moon. So the way I would, when the first Indian, and if it is me, landing on the moon in the coming years, from there, my eyes would not be trained on the moon. And rightly so, which our great civilization always said, we look back at our great Earth from there, and from that vantage point, give that view, which has always been part of our culture. That is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And that entire thing of seeing the cosmos with your world right over there, that point of view is the one which this entire country would look at, and that is something which I aspire to give to them.
But it's not always safe. Think of Apollo 13. It was not easy, right? I mean, these are things you also wrestle with in your mind?
Never. See, I'm a fighter pilot,
Never.
test pilot. I love danger. It doesn't mean I am something superior. My DNA is built like that, and my profession as a fighter pilot and now as a rocket scientist and an astronaut prepares for me for that. And the whole thing which I say is that maybe I'm scared of a snake. Okay, so I've got some fears in some departments, but I've never ever been fearful of going up in an untested machine and going and exploring the stars. And I got tremendous faith in our scientists, our entire ecosystem. And if something does go bad, it's good. You're made of star material. You will go back to star material.
Yes. You are going to space. All of India and much of the world will be looking at you. Many of the people who will look at you will be small children. They are the ones who will dream of going to space one day. Maybe we will have a colony on the moon. We don't know. As people said, we don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. What is it that you tell children when you meet them? Because there are lots of other things they can do even as scientists to help the space effort. You spoke about various things.
Great question. Whatever we do, it's for our children. And I would say that they are born in a fantastic time. Not only can they dream, they can actually actualize their dream. And they need not physically set course there, because sometimes it can be physically challenging. But the entire ecosystem is developing in which our eyes are not only trained onto a foreign body which is out there in space, which is there as part of our entire Jyotish. Our culture is based on that. You can actually set foot there or get real-time view of a person who's been sitting out there through many stations in between. So I would say it's great time for you, not just for STEM, but also for liberal arts, for humanities, even for artists to imagine the entire space. I would say, children, you're perfect the way you are in this great country. You're being born into a great time. We are taking leadership roles in the world, and let space be a symbol of the new role that our country is taking. Irrespective of whatever job you do, whatever you learn, what space and our travel to space symbolizes for you is a new level of confidence, which is actually the symbol of being an Indian. You have confidence, you're already taken care of, you're complete this moment. Just enjoy life.
Finally, one last question. Rakesh Sharma, when he was in space, he was asked, what does it look like? He said, Sare jahan se acha. When you go to space, what's something that you're expecting to see?
I would see something which is very close to me spiritually. Because I know what is consciousness. Our scriptures say, Sat Chit Anandam. And when that Sat Chit Anandam which is inside, when you want to manifest it outside and see, Sat becomes Satyam, Chit becomes Shivam, and Anandam becomes Sundaram. So when I see my great land from top, it will be Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, the government has reconstituted the Niti Aayog, appointed Ashok Kumar Lahiri as